Right. We're back. Oh my god. Wait, what's going on? Playing some music later. We're going to be talking about guitar, music, and streaming tonight. So if you guys got any questions, you can always just leave me comments too, by the way, if you're watching after the fact. I'll see if I can answer those for you. So thank you so much for being here. Let's see if we can get that TikTok nonsense running. We'll get that going for us. Yeah. Perfect. We got Zoe. Hey, what's going on? We got Abby. Hey. We got the whole crew tonight. Dude, I was looking at the comments on other places other than YouTube for the video I just made. And God, dude, reading some of those comments is just the saddest thing in the world. I made a video recently about counterfeits. And yeah, people were like, well, let me read some of the comments real quick because they're so dumb, dude. I hate to say it. It's so on the rest of the comments from the YouTube video, they're great. But elsewhere where I posted it, just so I could see it, awful. Awful comments. Dude, it is the most ridiculous. Somebody is saying that I'm making a straw man argument. They said I'm beating the shit out of a straw man I never knew existed. I don't think it's a straw man if you're the one bringing up the point to say, hey, this is a problem. You know what I mean? If somebody says, hey, we got to do something about these lantern flies, how is that a straw man? I don't understand how that works. That doesn't make sense. If you're having an argument with somebody and you try to say something that's not their point, then totally understand it. But if you're the one making the points, how does that make sense? I don't get it. Well, if you're just tuning in, my name is Patrick Gnarly. We're doing a guitar, music, streaming, answers, questions, things like that. If you guys got questions, if you want an opinion, something like that, let me know. I'm just talking about how I made a video the other day and posted it, and a lot of people are just, they looked at it and they were just like, what are you talking about? What does this mean? Like there was a guy, I posted it to TikTok, if you're on TikTok, say something in the chat. And the guy was like, yeah, I don't care where I buy guitar or what the guitar is, as long as I'm buying it from a small shop. And I was like, yeah, for sure, dude. Inexpensive guitars are important to everybody. Like not every guitar should be completely out of your expense. You know what I mean? And he's like talking about buying Gibsons, like the counterfeit guitars. And I was like, did you not read what I said? Did you not watch the video? It was the craziest thing in the world. I did not understand what he was talking about. So I was just like, all right, get out of here, dude. It's so weird. But let's read some more of them. Somebody had some good comments. For example, somebody said, buying a fake simultaneously perpetuates the idea that a brand name is valuable and also devalues the name. It's kind of sad. Yeah, so it's really weird. But he also said, however, there isn't a single thing anyone on the internet can say that will convince a, quote, label whore to turn down a decent, inexpensive guitar. So I was like, what? Emmy says, Pat, you're so tough. Thank you. I appreciate that. Oh, Abby has a question for us. Abby says, what's your dream guitar? Oh, I got a couple of them. Oh, that's another video that's coming out, actually. So, yeah, there's a video that's coming out pretty soon. That shows all the guitars that I've wanted to purchase in the future. So let me pull. I think I have a list for you. I can pull it up. Let me see about this. Yeah, guitars I'd love to buy in the future. I got the script right here if you want to hear a couple of them. I'm not going to say all of them, but I want to talk about all of them. So let's see here. How you doing from New Zealand? How you doing? Thank you so much. Yeah, we're still streaming. Yeah, Noctis. All right, so I'll read a couple of these off for you. So I really like the road-worn Telecaster, the 1952 reissue. And if you don't know what that looks like, I will pull it up for you. I played one of these years ago, like 10 years ago, and absolutely loved it. and it was one of the best guitars I've ever played. And I could not believe it wasn't a vintage item. I could not believe it. So it was pretty nuts. You know what's funny, Waffle Guy? People say I don't look like Dave Grohl enough to worry about it, and then some people like you come in here and they say I look like Dave Grohl. So just goes to show people can't even agree on the insults or the comments they want to make like that. It's very funny. All right, 1952 Telly Road Worn. Yeah, some people are like, you don't look like Dave Grohl. Stop saying that. I'm like, dude, that's what half the people in my comments say. It's so funny. Waffle Guy says it's a compliment, but all right. Why'd you say it as a question? Why would you go up to somebody and be like, you're good looking? Shut up, you dumbass. All right, get out of here. That's what I mean. Why would you say it in a question if it was supposed to be a compliment? Get out of my chat. Got him. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. All right, we'll take a look at this guitar. I'll show you what it looks like. Yeah, why would you say it as a question if it was not? Oh, that's right. I can't show the prices, otherwise TikTok will get upset. We'll just go to images. All right, there we go. So this is what the guitar looks like. It's a 1952 Road Worn, or 50s Road Worn as they call it. It looks the same as all the other vintage ones. I mean, if you looked at it, from 20, 30 feet away, you just wouldn't be able to tell. You have no idea. You would not be able to tell. So it's really funny how that looks. It's Steelers colors, Abby says. I mean, the rumor is that they chose this color because there was all black and white television. And if you just had a white guitar, it was just so overpowering. It was like super bright. So if you got yellow, though, it would look white, but like a normal color. It's very weird. But yeah, this is a great guitar. I really loved playing it. Fantastic model. And then there is, let me go back here. Let me go see what the, another guitar I really want to buy is the Black Paisley Stratocaster. But yeah, guys, don't be afraid. Send me a question in the chat. Guitar, music, streaming, whatever you got. We're just talking about my future guitars I want to pick up. We'll see what's going on. Let's see here. Go back to this. Yeah, the Paisley, excuse me. I used to go to school with a girl named Paisley. It was before I knew that was like a shape or a pattern. So it's very funny that every time I think of that person's name. All right, here we go. Let's go to the images, and then I'll show you what it looks like. Absolutely gorgeous guitar. Why are these all facing the wrong way? What is going on? Hold on. Why are these all like crooked? There we go. All right, this one's not as crooked. Look at this thing. Look at that color. Look at that shape. I think that looks awesome. I think I'd want to get it with the maple, though, like this one. Yeah, I'd want to get this one. Oh, got to show the pricing. Can't show that, otherwise TikTok gets upset. I like that one. What do you guys think? You think that looks good? I like how it looks. If you look at the edges, it has like this dark shadow to it. Looks really beautiful. Yeah, no, I've been streaming still. I stream every day. I just came back to TikTok, though. So we're just kind of talking about music. We're talking about guitars, things like that. So, yeah, if you got questions, guitar, music, streaming. I still play music. 9 p.m., though. We don't play music until 9 p.m. So, absolutely gorgeous guitar. So that's a couple of the guitars I really, really want to pick up. Thank you so much to Noctis, who sent us a couple roses. Hey, thank you so much, buddy. Big thumbs up. Can we get some thumbs up for Noctis? Aiden says, I hate how there's no lefty Paisley guitars. I'm sure. You'll probably have to get something. Oh, you know what we should look at? Let's look at this together. Hold on. Let's look at this together, everybody. I know there's a website there's a shop called Southpaw's Guitars or something like that. Southpaw Guitars. They only sell left-handed guitars. Check this out. I've never been to this website, so we're going to look at it together. So if you're left-handed, crazy. Yeah, so let's check this out. Just arrived. Let's see what they just got. Look at that. They got tons of them. Yeah, if you're a left-handed guitar player, the best place to go is on the internet. Abby sent some jewels. Thank you so much. You didn't pay for those, right? Those were free, right? Aiden says, how did I not know about this? Hey, you better tap that screen if I'm showing you something. Yeah, let's see if they got any. Let's look for a guitar for Aiden. Hold on. Aiden, what's a guitar you're looking for? Like, here's an SG. There's an Epiphone SG left-handed right here. Oh, this is a good-looking one, too. This is the custom. You don't ever get to see these because it's got the black binding. I'm sorry, not black binding, the blocks. And it's got the black and gold. That's gorgeous. How much is this? Let's look at the whole thing. Look at that thing. That's gorgeous. I'm not even a big Epiphone guy, but that's beautiful. $700, dude. You got to pick that up. That thing's great. If you're left-handed, go grab that. Yeah, it looks like my Les Paul Custom, actually. Hold on. It looks just like this. Absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, so what are you looking for? You're looking for a nice Telecaster that's lefty? All right, let's look at it. Why a black backdrop? I know, I agree with you, Abby. Good looks. Yeah, nice eye. What are you, an artist? What do you pay attention to colors like that? You said a Telecaster? Oh, bro, look at this. Right here, dude. Player 2. Hylia Yellow, which is more their like off-white. That is the guitar I would buy, hands down. Easily. I have a Player 2 right here. I have the Player 2 Strat. One of the best guitars I purchased in the past. Oh, man, how many years? Something like that. It's made very well. I'm very happy with it. It's my go-to guitar on the show now. So, yeah, dude, check it out. Pat, are you right-handed? I am, yeah. We're helping out Aiden, who's left-handed. What pickups are on it? I think they're Alnico 5s. Yeah, I'm right. I'm always right. Alnico 5 single coil. So they're a little hotter, so they're a little bit better for gain. But if, obviously you want something like a little, more vintage output, you just, you can lower the pickups. You'll be fine. Yeah, you'll be fine with that, dude. Yeah, go pick it up. Go to Southpaw Guitars. If you're a left-handed guitar player, go to Southpaw Guitars. Oh, look at this. What is this? 2012 Les Paul Premium. So it's got the nicer top. Look at that thing, dude. Look at it's got a transparent, again, with the black background. That's really funny. It's got the transparent ebony. Beautiful guitar. Dude, go grab one. Go grab one. Fantastic. All right. Hey, Zay, thanks for telling me that you're going to see Foo Fighters 55 times. I appreciate it. I'm not sure what that's a question. But stop spamming in the chat. Come on, man. What are you, crazy? Thank you for telling me 55 times. Jeez, man. I was talking to somebody. You can relax. Good Lord. Let's see. Travis, a friend of mine, had the Wayne's World one. Oh! Like this one? But like the one from the movie or the one that looks like the one from the movie? Because what's funny is they have the one from the movie, which was, I think, a 62 reissue. And then they had the one made after the movie, which was a Squire, I think. That was pretty fun. Yeah. Pretty crazy. Yeah, because I always wanted to get the original one from the movie. But I have that one that looks pretty similar to it, so I'm okay with it. Does it have the globe engraved on the back? No. Does the Squire one have a globe engraved on the back for the neck? Squire Wayne's World. Let's check this out. I've never seen this before. The 92-93 Squire Wayne's World Strat. I mean, mine looks pretty dang similar. I put a humbucker in it, though. But Zay on TikTok says, how many guitars do you have? You guys want to take a guess? You're more than welcome to. So it's on the neck plate. Oh, yeah, it does say Wayne's World right there. I actually have a Wayne's World hat somewhere at my house. I had it on the show, and I lost it when I moved. But that's pretty much what this is. This show is basically Wayne's World. If you think about it, it's cable access. This is public. So I have my own TV show, essentially. Abby says 12 guitars. Let me think how many I have now. Because I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I use 11 on the show. But I have close to 16. I don't show every guitar I own on the show. So. Oh, of course! TikTok is upset that I was talking about guitars on the internet. Once again, it says, your live is not eligible for recommendation and is restricted in search results because it redirects users to purchase products outside of TikTok. What a piece of shit app, dude. This app sucks so much. You can't talk about stuff on the internet? YouTube doesn't do that. With it, how long have we been streaming for? 15 minutes. 15 minutes we've been streaming for, and because I showed a guitar, and again, I closed off the pricing and oh my god, they're terrible, dude. They're so bad. What a terrible app. I mean, I'm not going to protest it. It's their app. They can do it, but it just seems like a really silly, you know what I mean? They're not selling left-handed guitars on this app. Yeah, I know. It's ridiculous. But again, YouTube doesn't get upset about that. YouTube's like, yeah, sure. If you want to show somebody guitars on the internet, fine, that's cool. It's because TikTok has a shop. That's what's going on here. They have their own shop, so it's like they just have to get it. They're getting in the way of their own service. Terrible. Oh, man. Any questions? Anybody got any questions? Guitar, music, streaming? Let me know. Go ahead, ask for some. Blake says, I wouldn't buy guitar stuff from TikTok. You know what? Let's be real for a second. Let's go look at the TikTok shop for guitar stuff. Let's go look at that while we're here. Let's just do it. Let's go check it out. Here we go. Let's go check this pile of garbage out. Hold on. So this is the TikTok shop. $130 guitar right here. You know it's quality when it says 41 inches. As if somebody buying a guitar cares about how long it is. Quality. Oh, here we go. A Vever 74 and 27. Quality. Quality equipment. Amazing. There's a harp or a lyre harp right here. Wow. Incredible. Let's look at more real quick. Let's look at more. I would say that they're just... we have a $3,000 guitar. Let's go check this out. Eastman. I have to verify I'm a human. Thank you. Because God knows bots would want to buy on this app. Are you going to buy a $3,000 guitar off a TikTok shop? Oh, apparently it's having trouble loading. Let's see if we can refresh it. Here we go. Got it. Eastman. I'll tell you what, the grain looks really good on this. You see how like the lines are going like up and down on the guitar? That's the grain of the spruce top. So I know Eastmans are made in China. So that doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing. A lot of people try to use manufacturing origin, like where it's made. They try to make sure that it's what they'll say is like, oh, if it's made in America, it's good, and if it's made in China, it's bad. Not necessarily the case. I've played great guitars that were made in Indonesia, Japan, China, India, stuff like that. I played bad guitars made in USA, plenty of them. But for the most part, American guitars tend to be better for several different reasons. One of the big reasons that American guitars are better, and this is something most people don't talk about, is the fact that we actually like guitar pretty much the best, especially electric guitar. That would be like if you go to, I'm trying to think, if you go to China for those like beautiful porcelain teacups, obviously they kind of popularized that. So the idea is that like the best sushi comes from Japan. That's what a lot of people say because they originated it, right? So if you originate an idea, if you have something that sounds good to your own culture, your own nation, you're going to probably do a really good job, right? So like that's why muscle cars are really popular in the United States. Same idea. Like if you go anywhere else, that's why Europeans make fun of muscle cars. It's because they're built for the highway. So if you don't really have highways, it's like it's not going to be seen as a good car. And obviously there's other objective reasons, reliability, your gas mileage, how long is it going to last in general. But for the most part, when people talk about guitars, the reason we're so good at it is because we like it the most. So we're going to put the most time and effort into it. That's why a lot of the foreign markets, if you look at it, they kind of copy American designs. And again, that's not a cut or anything. That's not like me making fun of them. That's just what they do. They know that we really like it, so we buy them. So it's really funny that people kind of use the origin of manufacturing, what country it's from, as that, well, if it's made here, that means it's crap. If it's made here, it means it's good. It's one of those things. But, that just because this is made in China doesn't mean it's necessarily bad. But the point I'm trying to make here is that I don't think whoever's selling this is sold by Acoustic Shop. So let's go check this place out. See if we can check it out. I've never heard of this place. I don't know what it is. What is Acoustic Shop? We don't know where this is based from. Oh, there's like no information here. They have a bunch of videos though. Can we watch a video on it? Is that possible? No, it just shows a bunch of strings and stuff. Okay, well, let's see if we can find it. Let's look up Acoustic Shop. See what this is. The Acoustic Shop. Let's see where this is. If this is the same one. So this is supposedly the place that you're buying the stuff. Oh, thank you for the pop-ups. So this is apparently the place that you're buying from. Where is this at? About Us. Here we go. Our story. Meet the staff. Are they Canadian and American? Colorado. So if I understand, oh my God, this is, hey, Acoustic Shop, this is dumb. Please don't do that. The pop-up thing, we got rid of that in the 90s, sweetheart. So apparently that's the place on TikTok Shop, supposedly. I don't know. Well, the point I was trying to make here is that you're probably not going to be buying it from TikTok. You're probably buying it from a shop that's on TikTok. It's like one of those things where they redirect stuff. So not sure what's up with that, but if they're a reputable service, I wonder if that's them. But if it's not, I would actually love to contact them and be like, hey, is this you on TikTok? Okay. So I don't know if it is or not, but any other questions? We were talking about how TikTok has been a little bit obnoxious as far as showing pricing. But it's because they have their own service. They don't want people in competition with them, which is kind of not fun for the show. Meteor says, what made you start streaming on TikTok instead of YouTube or any other app first? Oh, that's a great question, Meteor. I really like that. I first started with TikTok because I knew that most people have been using TikTok. It just surged in popularity. The way I looked at it is that Vine was super popular. But by the time I wanted to start making videos and things like that, I realized that YouTube was kind of, the ship had sailed a little bit. I'm not saying it has now, but this was like 2020, 2021. And I was like, okay, let me see what's going on with this. And so Vine was already over. And then TikTok started to get really popular because, I hate to say this, but TikTok got popular because, okay, what is this? Something just failed on my computer. I don't know what it was, but all right, anyways. The whole point of TikTok getting popular was like people dancing and doing trends, and it just blew up. You know what I mean? It just exploded. A lot of teenagers started using it, and then anything the young kids are doing, remember Facebook? Facebook was popular with college students, and then everybody else started using it, and then all the teenagers started leaving. Happens all the time. So, bottom line is TikTok got really popular. So I said, all right, I'll give that a shot. I'll see what's going on with this. So I started making videos, and started making short-form content, and then for some reason it started to stick. And I was like, okay, I'll keep going with this then. So my intuition was right. My intuition was try this new thing, see if it works. If it doesn't, no big deal. But it started to work because I'd been on YouTube for a little bit, but I wasn't really taking it seriously. But the moment I started taking TikTok seriously, that's when things started to actually build upon it. So I started streaming on there, and sure enough, started getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Now I'm at 75,000 followers. And now I'm on YouTube because I really like that service better now. So again, you go with what works better, what works for you. You don't want to marry one platform because, like I just showed you, TikTok's having issues with me just showing websites. So you got to just make sure you go which way the wind is blowing. And if you don't like it, steer away from it. Tyler says, can you rate the setup I'm getting for Christmas? Ooh, okay. Should we do that? Let's do that. Thank you, Tyler. Good question. You're getting the LT25. That is the number one amp I always recommend. I always recommend getting an LT25. For the pedals, you're getting a small clone chorus, Boss DS1, Crybaby Wah. Sounds like somebody's a Nirvana fan and a Hendrix fan, and a Boss Chromatic Tuner. Sounds like you're kind of doing two things the wrong direction. Both of those sets are good. I don't think those pedals work well with that amp. And I don't think that amp works well with those pedals. I'll explain why. Those pedals are in the amp. So when you buy a Mustang LT25, it comes with built-in effects. So you buying the pedals, the only reason you're doing that is so you can turn them on and turn them off, right? That's the whole reason. You can get a foot switch for the Mustang LT25. So you really want to get either a very good clean amp. So you could probably get a Boss Katana and just save the money from the pedals, get the nicer amp with a foot switch. That's what I would do. Or get just the Mustang LT25, save the money for later when you actually feel like getting a different pedal. That's what I would do. So it's up to you. Those are the two decisions. Get the cheaper amp, save the money for later, or get the bigger amp, don't buy the pedals. Get a foot switch for the amp. Because you're spending way too much money on having two things that do the same thing. That's what I would do. So yeah, get the LT25. Do not get all those pedals. I'm going to tell you right now, don't get all the pedals unless you want to get the wah. At the very least, you can get the wah. But it's already got a built-in distortion. It's already got a built-in chorus. It's already got a built-in pretty much everything you'd want. So that's what I would do. So that's my advice to you. Zay on TikTok says, when did you start your band? I started my band, technically there is no band, it's just me, Finals is just me. But I started playing music alone in like 2019, 2018, right around there. I started playing music as Finals because my old band members, it was very difficult to get shows. Some people would cancel all the time. My drummer got arrested. My bass player, who's awesome, who's a very nice guy, he got married. He said he didn't want to do music anymore. So yeah, that's what I would. That's what happened. So I just said, you know what? Screw the band thing. If I can't find any reliable people, I'm just going to do it myself. And I did, and here I am. So I'm happy to say that it's working out just fine. Tyler says, oh, yeah, I'm kind of new to this pedal board stuff because my dad's friend makes pedal boards and a bunch of local bands, and my dad was going to have him make me one. Yeah, save the money, dude. Tyler, I'm telling you right now, if you are already getting an amp with built-in effects, don't buy pedals. It's redundant. It does not make sense to do that. You want a good bass sound for the amp, like a good clean or a good distortion, something that's in there that makes it loud enough and it's in the way you like it, and then get pedals as you go. Or get an amp that has built-in effects already, buy the foot switch. That way you could just switch channels and go right to the settings you want. That's what I would do. If you do both, you are wasting money on the amp. That's what I would do. So definitely, I look into the Boss Katana. That's a really good sounding amp, and it's loud enough to be in the same room with a drummer. That's what I would do. I'm preaching to the choir. Everybody in here has heard of the Boss Katana, right? If you've ever played guitar, that is one of the best amps in the past 5-10 years. People love that thing. See, Blake on the moderator here says, "Trust me, it's loud enough. You got it. You got it." Yeah, dude, check that out. Abby says, "Why did you start streaming?" That's a great question too. Man, some great questions tonight. You guys are awesome. Why did I start streaming? I started streaming because I saw there was a potential in the live form of music, because most people don't watch live music unless they absolutely know who the band is. So there's no real reason for people to just kind of go out in public while you're kind of unknown. Like going to an open mic. If anyone's ever been to an open mic, let me explain something to you. Open mics, for the most part, are 80% other people waiting to play. They're not really interested in listening to you. I hate to say that. It's one of those things. Open mics have their purpose, but I'm telling you right now, playing music on live stream and then making videos and stuff like that, that's how everybody's getting their new media. That's how they're getting it. People aren't even watching movies anymore. People just like short form and video content. So, also shout out to Ice Cold sending some gifts earlier. Let's see here. Let's see. That is a long. Doesn't sound like a question. Let me see here. Okay, that is a good question, actually. Sorry, Lola. I was trying to read through it, and it didn't sound like a question at first. This is an excellent question because I asked this question too. Lola says, there's this company outside the country I live in. that works in the type of music that I'm really interested in working in. But I keep getting rejected by the companies I auditioned. Should I still do it? Well, this is an interesting kind of point of view here because failure in music is not necessarily failure to play music. You're the failure. What is the failure? If you really dissect this, are you failing to play music? No. Apparently, you're failing to appeal to this company. I don't know what company it is, but the company isn't interested in what you're doing. So you have to kind of ask yourself, do I want to make music for this company, or do I want to make music for myself? Do I want to make music for an audience? What you want to do is be honest with yourself, because I've had this experience too. When you're playing music live to people, sometimes people are going to hate it. And if you really connect with it, if you really love it, you're going to keep doing it regardless of if people like it or not. Now, that's also not to say, oh, just ignore people, play whatever you want. You kind of want to play music people like. So there's a bit of a give and take with this. So I'm going to tell you right now, if you're trying to go towards a company and you're satisfied with your own music, maybe the company's wrong for you. Maybe you're wrong for the company too. Maybe that's just not going to work. You know what I mean? So should you stop going to that company? Well, maybe. I think you should decide if you want to just change your sound, change your art to fit with whatever they want. If you want to do that, go for it. But you have to figure out what they want. Conversely, the opposite, maybe you should start looking at other companies. Because I'll tell you what, let me give you an example. I have a song called Featherweight. This is not an exaggeration. I have a song called Featherweight. I played that song for like maybe 6 months, something like that, live. And people kind of liked it. People enjoyed it a little bit. And then 10 years later, I came back to play it again for a different audience. It is now the most requested song on my show. If you can believe that. Same song, playing it the same exact way. So you have to really think, am I the problem or are they the problem? You know what I mean? Because from my experience of playing music, like, oh, should I change my sound? I suck. Should I keep doing this? I don't know. If you believe in your music, you feel connected to it, you love it, you don't want to change it, maybe you should go somewhere else. So whatever company that is might be the wrong answer. Maybe you should find somebody else. Don't quit playing music because there's several people who said this sucks. Find the people that do like it if you like it. If you're open to changing it, go for it. Try it out. Figure out what you want to do. But I'll tell you right now, it's up to you. There's no wrong answer. There is no wrong answer. So what do you think? I want to hear what Lola thinks. Lola, what do you want to do? Because again, my success, it might be different than your success. When I played Featherweight 10 years later to a different audience and everybody was like freaking out about it, that's a totally different experience, obviously. That might not happen for you. But it really depends on what you want to do as an artist. Look for a new company. I agree with you. I think you should be proud of your work. I think when you're playing music and you believe in it and you know that you're happy with it and you don't feel ashamed of it and you want to play it for people every day for the rest of your life, you should. And you should get paid for it. And you should be able to get a company that represents you, or you should be able to do it independently, as long as you believe in it. Because if there's one piece of advice for everybody in the audience, no matter what you do in art, tell the truth. So whatever truth that is, I don't know what it is for you, but tell the truth. So that's my opinion for you. So I hope it works out for you, Lola. I hope you find somebody that can represent you, or you can work for somebody or work with somebody. I don't know how that works. I'm an independent artist, so I think it's important to do that. Carlos says, in my opinion, don't compromise your artistic freedom. I'll tell you this. You don't want to. Sometimes, to survive as a musician, you do have to bend the rules a little bit. You do have to bend it a little bit. I'll give you an example with that. I have a song called Nostalgiac. People really enjoy that one. People prefer the acoustic version more than my electric version. Fair enough. That's their opinion. So I'm re-recording it to make it acoustic. So by definition, I am compromising my artistic integrity to record it in a different way. But I want to. I like it. I agree with them. So I am compromising, but for a good reason. You know what I mean? It's not some guy with a big fat cigar being like, like, man, see, wait this way, man, see, I want you to put rap in your song. See, that's what Deftones did. Deftones has that song "Back to School." They did not want to put like new metal rap lyrics in it, but the record label was like, no, no, no. See, man, do it, give it a try, and it was successful. But they later decided to re-record the song the way they wanted to, and I love that version of the song way more. So it's very, very interesting how that works. It's very, very interesting. We got a question asker on TikTok saying, "What's the best way to get a company label? I want to try and release an EP." Well, you don't really need a label to release an EP. Not anymore, at least. There's thousands and thousands of people that are doing independent releases through stuff like DistroKid. What is it? CD Baby. There's a whole bunch of places. Let's do it right now. We'll do it right now. Hold on. Let's pull it up. Let's see if we can pull this up. Independent label. If we look up independent label music, what pops up? Let's see here. Groover. What is Groover? Indie music label. Find a label on Groover. Okay, I don't know what that is. We can open that as a tab. DistroKid. I use that. Works pretty well. It's not free. You have to pay. You have to pay like a yearly thing. Yeah, Meteor used DistroKid. There you go. Yeah, DistroKid's not expensive. It works. What's the other one? Melody Rights. I guess that's a UK thing. Where's the other one? There's another one that got some bad publicity recently. I don't know. What if I type in "release your music yourself"? Release my music. Lander, DistroKid, Splice, apparently. Self-releasing your music, a DIY thing. So there's ways to DistroKid's all over the place, man. But I'll tell you this. I enjoy it. I think it's good. But as far as getting a label like to pay attention to you, like a real label, not just like a website, it's a little more complicated. I'll tell you guys a story real quick. So if you're trying to find a label or you want a label to find you, it is, not a joke. It is all a chance. When I lived in Virginia, this was probably 13 years ago, there was a band near me that used to play semi-frequently. They were a pretty well-known band in the area. I had never heard of them, but I decided to go check them out. They were called the Dusk Whales. And they were very nice guys. I got to see their show. They played a very small show, probably about 50 people there altogether. And there was another band playing there at the same time. Later, I found out that other band got picked up by a record label. Did anyone hear the story before? The band's name was Car Seat Headrest. I literally saw Car Seat Headrest about a week or two before they got picked up by a record label. That is a true story. I got to go see them live before they became like a famous band. I'm not like a super fan of them. I enjoyed the show, but I actually met Car Seat Headrest for like 5 minutes. So yeah, if you've never heard of them, they're a pretty big band now. That was all happening the same time I was playing music, and the Dusk Whales and all these other bands in the area. So if you think about it, it could have been any person. Obviously, if you're a good enough band, you're going to get picked up eventually. But it's one of those things where there is a luck factor. There's a dice roll. Maybe you're not at the show where the talent scout hears about you. Maybe you don't send the email to the right record label. Maybe they don't see your video explode on the internet. Who knows? But I'll tell you this. That was one of the most disheartening things I've ever had happen in my life. Knowing that there was somebody in the area looking for band members and bands and stuff like that. And they went, no, these guys. You know what I mean? Because I was playing the same shows they were. The same areas. So I went, oh. But I'll tell you this much. 12 years later, I'm playing music independently. Everything's going fine for me right now. Knock on wood that it's going to keep getting better and better, but that's part of the deal, is that there is a dice roll. There's another famous band that got picked up on their first day, basically, their first show. There's a very famous one. What is the name of the band? They were one of those like stomp, clap, hey bands. Hey, ho! One of those bands. I can't remember the name of the band, but they basically got picked up from their first show, and everybody was like, "Are you serious?" And it's like, I guess I could see that. So there's a dice roll. So if you're asking, how do I get labels to pay attention to me now? It's all about your online figures, and there's a dice roll. You don't know who's going to see your video. You don't know who's going to listen to your song and go, "Oh, are they independent? Oh, I should send them an email and see what's going on." Last night, this is true story. Last night, I'll answer you guys' question in just a second. Last night, a pickup manufacturer reached out to me. So we'll see how that goes. But last night, that's 100% true. They sent me a message saying like, "Hey, we'd like to represent you and talk to you about this stuff." So nothing's set in stone yet, but I did start talking to them. That was last night. You don't know who's watching. All right, we got some more questions to answer. Let's see here. We got Connor who says, "Is my setup good?" I got a Blues Junior, excellent amp. You got a 90s Ibanez guitar made in Japan, excellent. It's probably an RG. That sounds great, dude. Get yourself a couple pedals. You're good, dude. Blues Junior is a fantastic amp. They get kind of intense, a little harsh the more you crank them up, but at the same time, it's like if you're playing with a drummer, it's already harsh. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna say big thumbs up on that. Rachel says, "I have a question. When you make your album covers, do you commission different editors, artists, or do you create them on your own?" Okay, so this is a bit of a mixed bag. So when I first started trying to get music out there, obviously, if you're on SoundCloud, you kind of just pick pictures up and you see what you like and what you don't like. And you just put random stuff up there. There's a guy named Beside You. Let me pull him up. There's a guy named Beside, BSD.U. And if you go to his stuff, check this out. Hold on. If you go to his Bandcamp, you'll see he uses some this is from Cowboy Bebop. He uses stuff that's like you're not really supposed to because he doesn't own the rights to Cowboy Bebop. So when I was like in the very, very beginning, I would just, whatever picture I liked, I would just put it up there. Later, I would start to reach out to people. And like, for example, the album cover of Social Horror. I'll show you guys what that looks like. That one, I literally just sent a guy a message saying like, "Hey, I really like this album, or I really like this picture you drew. Can I use this for my album cover?" And he was like, "Oh yeah, sure, dude, go for it. I would really love that." And I was like, "Okay." So that was the whole 9 yards of it. So I'll pull this up. Let me go to images. Oh nope, it's not there. Hold on, we'll go to this. Pause this real quick because it's an ad because I'm off my profile. Skip. All right, so here we go. This is what the album cover looks like. So if you go and check that out, yeah, that's just a drawing somebody did. And it happened to look like a picture that I had. Like I had a picture of me when I was doing this. I was like doing this kind of gesture. And I thought it was so interesting that all you could see was the mouth. And you can't tell the ambiguity there. The part that really spoke to me was you don't know if the person, I would say it's a she. I don't know if she is showing her lips as an act of defiance, like, "Hey, fuck you," or it's somebody checking her teeth, or if it's somebody inspecting her. So I thought that was a really interesting, ambiguous album cover. But to answer your question, the short answer is most of the album covers, the last one is the one I actually had more direct involvement. Like I photoshopped, I used a bunch of various sources of things to make it. But every other album cover, all of them were made by somebody else, and I reached out to them to get permission and stuff. So I actually really like the fact that when you reach out to somebody, because I'm not a great photographer, I'm not great at Photoshop. I just use what I can. But I like the idea of there being a photographer. I really enjoy that idea. So anything that speaks to me, I'll just kind of reach out and I'll say, "Hey, can I use this?" So, but that's all I'm going to say for now on album covers, things like that. So, because I could go on and on about that, but It's fun to have other people involved in the kind of processes. So, but yeah, the short answer is that all of them except for the last one I was directly involved in. So I hope that answers it. But yeah, that's just interesting how you can find something that somebody else made. One more. The last one, which was infinite growth or endless growth. I'm sorry, endless growth in the finite world. That was also just a picture somebody made, or not. They just, again, it was just like, hey, can I use this? And they were like, yeah, sure. Of course, I can't pull it up. It's YouTube, so. But yeah, all those album covers, you just see it, because that was the Blue Ridge Mountains in Virginia where I used to live. And I was like, that's a great picture. That's where I used to live. I thought that was a great picture. So, yeah, all those pictures are from somebody else. Any other questions? What else we got out there? What else we want to talk about? We got time. Oh, somebody sent me. Your mom sent me a text. Sorry, hold on. Sorry, she's making a joke. Nope, sorry, get out of here. All right, we got some people on TikTok. I love how the people on TikTok are not as talkative. Everybody elsewhere is just asking me so many questions. Everyone on TikTok is just being a little shh, I'm just gonna watch. Champ says, were you nervous when you first started going live, or were you used to it, seeing as you performed in front of an audience before? Oh, it's totally different. Totally different in my opinion. Playing in front of a live audience is absolutely nerve-wracking for me. It's absolutely a different experience. When you play in front of people, there is definitely a finality to it. You know what I mean? Like, let me put the perspective in a different way. So if you're playing a video game where you're driving, that is not the same feeling as driving for real. Because let me put it this way, everything going on right now, if I just suddenly, if I rip a fart really loud, I can just hit a button and leave. You know what I mean? If I do something really embarrassing, I can just hit a button, leave. You guys will be like, oh, he stopped streaming, right? That could happen. In real life, if something embarrassing happens, there's no escape. You're in the room. The show is going on. So it's way more nerve-wracking for me. It's not a great experience. But live streaming, I feel like it's so much easier, for sure. Because at any moment, I can just be like, hey, I got to get something to drink. I'll be right back. And I can walk away and come back. But I will say that playing a live show in person, a lot shorter. It's a lot more structured. And if you make a mistake, you move on. That's the mentality you have to have. It's going to be imperfect. So you're going to have moments where things aren't going to go well. You have to keep a level head, laugh it off, keep it going. On here, it's a lot less structured. Because let me put it this way. If you go to a show and they forget to play a song and they go, oh, man, we screwed up, then everybody's going to be like, shut up and play it. Why are you talking to us? On here, if I waste time, you guys can just leave. Same thing for you guys. At any moment in time, you can just leave the show. Because you're like, this guy's getting boring. And you just swipe up. This guy's being stupid. I don't like this. I don't like what he's saying. You guys can leave at any moment. If you pay money for a show, it has to happen. There's a dedication to it. Can you imagine driving like an hour to go see, let's say, Deftones? You get there, and then Sheena Marino halfway through the show goes, hey, guys, I really want to watch Game of Thrones. I'm going to leave and watch Game of Thrones. Sorry. You'd be like, hell no. I took off work for this. You better finish that song. Meanwhile, this is free, so if anybody gets upset, you can, you guys can just, go away. I don't care. And then you guys don't care either. You know what I mean? There's like a level of I don't want to call it disrespect, but there's a level of disattachment, right? Where you guys can just literally press a button and get out of here at a moment's notice. So that's why live streaming is a lot lower risk, lower reward than playing live shows. So Rachel says, plus it's safer. Oh, yeah, too. That's another thing. Yeah, absolutely. There's no risk for me. There's no risk for you at all. But in a live show, like somebody could push you down during the concert. Somebody could be a jerk. Somebody could be on drugs and run into you. And somebody could light something on fire. And like, there's a whole bunch of bad stuff that can happen. I've been to shows. I remember I went to a show where our drummer like threw up like mid-show. And it was like, the show must go on. You got to keep going. He's like, I'm sorry, I'm sick right now. And I'm like, I know why you're sick. You're an idiot. But he was like drinking the entire night before. And anyways, I won't get into that. But yeah, that's what I'm saying is that it's a lot lower of a threshold that you have to worry about. So that's why I prefer live streaming. But I would love to play live shows again. I would love to do that. Rachel says, I fainted at a concert last summer. Are you kidding? That's crazy. I feel so bad for you. Gabe says, have you skated before? I used to skateboard when I was like a freshman, but I was very bad at it. I could barely ollie. And I was like, all right, I'm going to stick to guitar. So I quit. I was terrible. I was absolutely terrible. Yeah, I was not very good at skateboarding. I wished I was. Skateboarding is really fun. Carla says, what comes first, the music or the lyrics, or both? Oh, for me, always the song. Like the lyrics come last for me. I'll often kind of mumble lyrics a lot. Actually, if you guys want, here, I'll try and pull something up for you. Yeah, I'll save like a bunch of different like things. And you'll hear, let's see here. What do we got? Here, I'll play this song. This is a song I'm working on. I was recording recently. It's going to be kind of choppy because, it's come through a phone. But you'll hear me try to sing, but I won't have lyrics. So you get the guitar part. You get the idea. All right. We get it. Oh, somebody's calling me. Great. Am I going to mumble? What's going on here? I guess I don't mumble there. But typically what I'll do is I'll kind of say things. That doesn't have to be words, just the sound of words. So I'll just write the lyrics as best I can later. Because the whole point is that while you're in the moment, you want to get that melody, in my opinion. You want to get the melody. So like here, I'll pull up a guitar and we'll try and write some to that. That way we get that kind of sound. Hold on. Going out to nowhere. Should I go again? Going off to London. So he's just mumbling. Feeling on his end. Holding on to nothing. Cried your name again. So you don't know where you're going with the song. You're just recording something. You're trying to get something in there. That way when you come back to it, you can change the little syllables. You know what I mean? You don't have to say those words again. You know what I mean? You can change that to whatever you want it to be. So that's what I do. When I write music, I'll try to get the melody. I want the song. The song is what I want, no matter the language. But then, obviously, I speak English, so I want to put English in there to give it more meaning. Because if you just say the words, it's poetry, right? You get that rhythm, you get that prose. Then that's nice, but I want the song. And I know that most people connect to a song more if there's lyrics. But, like, think about how many instrumentals you've heard that can, like, make you feel really intensely emotional. You know what I mean? Like, how many songs are out there that are incredibly emotional? Like, for example, I can play this song because I think I don't think this is copyrighted. I think this is, what is it called? Domain? Open Domain or something like that. What's that song? I think it's this one. Whoops. Another ad. Hold on. You'll recognize this. You're going to go, oh, I know that song. Okay. Listen to this one. See, everybody knows this song. But it sounds sad. There's no words. You got it. How can something be sad without words? That's music. So you add words to music, it kind of isolates it into that whoever speaks English. But a song doesn't have to be in the language you speak for people to like it. Like look at 99 Red Balloons. So many great songs are in different languages that kind of transcends that. Or it can. Sometimes if it's in a different language, you're kind of like, this is kind of hard to listen to because I don't know what they're saying and it doesn't sound familiar. It sounds kind of different in a way that's not good. But it's important to write the music because whether you can tell what they're saying or not, that's not the important part. Look at Yellow Ledbetter from Pearl Jam. I'm free down on a song down, down. Down, 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 down. What the hell is he saying there? He's just kind of saying things. Or there you go, Rammstein. There you go. That's a very important thing to do in music is to have the emotion there, have the intensity, have the riff. You know what I mean? Look at Black Sabbath. Look at Iron Man. You don't have to speak English to know that's a badass song. So, yeah, to answer your question, what comes first, the song or the lyrics? Always the song, every time. At least for me. Very few times do I have the words written ever. I mean, there's songs where I write them, and like whatever I say first, that's what I put on the paper. Like Evan Jones. I wrote Evan Jones in like half an hour, less. Those 3 chords that I play throughout the entire song. It's a beautiful one. Rachel says Rammstein. I'm not pronouncing it like a German. I'm sorry. Nerd. How do you pronounce it? Is it Rammstein? I'm not saying it like that. Because then I look like a what would it be like I sound like a weeaboo, but for Germany. What's a German weeaboo? Actually, it's pronounced this way. Yeah, I'm not saying it the correct way. It's like when people say with Naruto, I always say Naruto. They're like, that's not how it's pronounced. And I'm like, I know. It's because I don't want to say it the way. Germaboo? I guess. Yeah, if you guys got questions, let me know. Guitar, music, streaming. You guys got a bit more time. You guys got about another half an hour with me to hang out, ask me questions. There's got to be a better name for a German. Let me look up German weeaboo. A viraboo. Oh, that's clever. A viaboo. Yeah, viaboo. There you go. Perfect, dude. So I knew somebody had it. It's spelled this way too. Hold on, let me pull it up. It's spelled this way. So that it's, I'll show the people on TikTok too. Even though you guys are being quiet and just watching from the sidelines. I swear to God, TikTok 100% hates me, dude. They are they're a vindictive company, I can tell. I can absolutely tell. Super vindictive. All right, any other questions? What do you guys got? There's no way. There's no way nobody has questions about guitar, music, or streaming. There's no way. What are you watching for then? What are you, crazy? Well, I'm glad you said that, Rachel. You said unrelated. Van Halen 2012 Tour Cruise shirt. That's cool. Yeah, that's cool. I like Van Halen. Van Halen's great, dude. Yeah, Van Halen's a fantastic band. Some great music out there. Great example of working with the equipment you got. Because Van Halen used to play a Ibanez Destroyer, which is like a knockoff Gibson Explorer. And you know what? It works. It worked. It's a real great guitar. but not a counterfeit. I'll tell you that much. Kurt had an Ibanez Destroyer too. I wouldn't put it past him. But he's left-handed, so that would have been really crazy looking. You guys want to see what an Ibanez Destroyer looks like? It's a fantastic guitar. I think it looks super cool. Very cool guitar. That's it. It looks exactly like a Gibson Explorer, except it says Ibanez on it. I mean, it's a very, very well-made copy. Somebody whose name is a bunch of emojis on TikTok says, I missed you so much. Well, I've been streaming the entire time. I've been streaming on other apps and stuff like that. But I came back to TikTok, but apparently they don't want me, dude. Apparently they're over it. Yeah, it's a great-looking guitar, isn't it? Well, I was going to say, you know what I got to do is I got to start looking at news articles. We got to start looking at news articles for the people. That way, if you have questions, you can just pop in and out. You know what I mean? Because I think a lot of people just really like watching instead of like participating. If you don't like to, that's okay. But I think the whole point of the Pat Chat is the chat part. You know what I mean? So many people ask me questions during the music portion, but then when I say, "Hey, you can ask me questions," they go, "Nah, it's okay." It's like when I'm on the Discord. I'm literally available all the time on the Discord. Nobody hangs out in there as much. I do not get it. It does not make any sense to me, man. People wait to talk to me even though I'm on the Discord. It makes no sense. I don't know, man. Emoji person on TikTok says, and I played in the Minecraft server. Oh, it's Gracie. Used to be in the lives a lot. Okay, well, you could still be in the lives. I'm still doing lives every single day. So, I don't know what to tell you, man. I feel like you guys, when I said I'm moving to a different app, people went, all right, well, I'm not coming with you. See ya. So that's why I was like, all right, I guess I'll come back and I'll see if anybody's still on the app who wants to see. And they're like, yeah, no, I do. I'm like, okay, well, it's like when Moist Critical, when Charlie went to from Twitch to YouTube, right? It's the same show. I don't know why people got upset. I think he's still multi-streaming too, isn't he? Or does he have an exclusive deal? Let's look that up. Let's look it up. Moist Critical. Was it YouTube? Is it exclusivity deal?